Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we've got some really interesting source material you sent us. It's about a pretty major discovery down in Antarctica.
Yeah, this one caught my eye too. It starts with researchers, flying over the Filchner ice shelf in West Antarctica.
Right, using radar, satellite photos, the usual tools. But then they spot something. Well, something totally unexpected deep below the ice.
And it wasn't small. What they actually found, hidden way down at the base of the ice sheet, were tunnels.
Yeah, tunnels. And not just like one little crack. The source says 8 distinct tunnels.
8 of them. And that the size is just staggering. Each one is about 20 feet tall.
20 feet. It's hard to even picture.
Right.
Your source gives these comparisons, right? Nearly as tall as the Eiffel Tower.
Exactly. Nearly the height of the Eiffel Tower. And get this, more than 4 times taller than Tower Bridge in London.
Whoa! Okay, so massive cavities, thousands of feet down, totally hidden until now.
Makes you wonder what else is under there, doesn't it? So our mission today for this deep dive is to look at the science, obviously, but also dig into the, let's say, surprising historical side of things your source brings up because of this.
Okay, yeah, let's start with the science bit from the source. How did these things form? The researchers seem pretty clear on that.
Yeah, the conclusion, based on the size and shape and all that, is meltwater.
Hmm.
Basically, water melting on or under the ice, finding paths, and carving out these huge channels over time.
Like rivers, but flowing under the ice sheet itself, over the land beneath it, heading out to the ocean.
Pretty much, concentrated channels. Yeah, that's a natural explanation, and it seems to fit the evidence they gathered.
Right, but okay, here's where your source pivots, and it gets, yeah, well, kind of strange. The fact that these huge hidden spaces exist,
Mhm.
it suddenly makes some old stories seem a little different.
Exactly. Those persistent rumors, about secret bases or hidden activities down in Antarctica,
Right.
suddenly there's like a physical place something could be hidden.
We're talking about the Nazi rumors, right? From their expedition back in 38, 39,
Right.
the idea they set up some secret tech base or something.
Which your source author actually pushes back on that specific idea. They find it pretty unlikely, logistically speaking.
Yeah, building advanced tech bases during the war way down
Yeah.
there seems like a stretch when they had other options.
Right, and this is the key point the source makes. The tunnels themselves open up another possibility, given their size.
Ah, okay. The source suggests something maybe more plausible.
Yeah, hidden U-boat bases,
Yeah. Heck
submarines,
yeah.
sheltering under the ice.
Okay, that feels different. Logistically, maybe more achievable for the German Navy back then, especially if these tunnels connect to the ocean.
Precisely. That's the argument the source author explores. These natural formations could, theoretically, provide the perfect hidden harbor.
And this connection, this possibility, is where the source brings in Operation High Jump.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd's big expedition right after the war. Late 46, early 47. Massive U.S. Navy presence down there.
It's supposedly scientific, but your source notes something odd. They were geared up for months, weren't they?
They were equipped for a long stay, but they pulled out really fast after just a few weeks, much earlier than planned.
Huh. And then came that weird quote from Admiral Byrd when he got back, reported in a Chilean newspaper, the El Mercurio.
That's the one. He apparently warned the U.S. needs to prepare defenses against enemy fighters that can fly pole to pole at incredible speeds.
Which sounds completely wild on its own, but your source is saying, look, you have Bird's warning, the early end to high jump, and now confirmation of huge hidden spaces under the ice.
It adds a different context, doesn't it? The warning suddenly seems, well, maybe less fantastical if there were unknown things happening down there, potentially using hidden infrastructure.
Okay, let's just recap quickly. So, scientifically confirmed, massive 20-foot tall tunnels carved by meltwater under the Antarctic ice. That part's real.
Fact. And your source uses this fact to say maybe those old rumors about hidden bases aren't completely dismissible. Specifically, the U-boat idea, which they see as more feasible than secret labs.
Right. And connecting that possibility to the whole mystery around Operation High Jump, why it ended early, Bird's strange warning.
Your source suggests these confirmed tunnels offer a tangible element that makes reconsidering those historical puzzles seem, perhaps, worthwhile. It provides a physical where for some of the speculation.
It definitely changes the landscape knowing those kinds of spaces are actually down there.
It really does.
So it leaves you, the listener, with this thought. Now that we know for sure these vast natural tunnels exist under the ice, and we think about things like high jump and Bird's cryptic warning, what else might be hidden in Antarctica's secrets? What other possibilities does this open up?